I'm going to suggest to you that you protect your interest in it as far as entitled to a quarter of it.
This morning, my wife sent me this clip, and I didn't really get a chance to take a look at it. She's like, oh, you got to check this out. It's crazy, James. You'll probably be talking about it tonight on your show. Now, she knows that I don't really like to go into preview episodes or comment too much on previews and trailers, specifically coming out of TLC, because 9 times out of 10, what they do is they give you one trailer and it leads you in one direction, and you believe that they're going to say one thing only to watch the show. And that segmented part of the trailer put into context actually means something different. So I wanted to take an opportunity to look at the trailer, and it was so ridiculous that I had to comment on it. It's that crazy. I know tonight when I go on my live, I'm going to be talking about this, and there will probably be French used. For those who are faint of heart, I got to tell you, I got to warn you that a couple of them might slip out. I might slip some French words. The first part of it you saw where Meri meets with Janelle. They sit down and they're ready to have a conversation about Kody Pass. Now, to Janelle's credit, I know a lot of people come down on Janelle, talk about she's not about that business, but 10 toes down, Janelle is about her business when it comes to this Kody Pass property. Whatever turn she needed to take, she took that turn, and Janelle is now focused on her cut and her share of the Kody Pass property because she sees that as the only means and method that she's going to have to be able to walk away with some type of asset from her 30-year stint in these marriages or these relationships. So she wants to make sure she gets her cut. So she meets with somebody who is similarly situated in a like circumstance, which is Meri. It's perfect sense. Meri also contributed heavily to not only Robyn's house, but she contributed ideally to Kody Pass. And since she's not going to get, at this point, they weren't talking about selling Robyn's house. So this was the only real opportunity that either of them had in order to be able to walk away with some kind of asset. This is the conversation that really got me going. Check it out.
I don't think that there's really any need for protection. Don't you think that we have each other's backs as far as that goes?
No, I really don't.
Would Kody and Robyn really go into this thinking maybe we should get all of the property? I don't think that they're going to screw us over.
Are you serious? Is that a serious question? Did you brain your damage? Did you slip and fall when you were out there trying to help Kody move that furniture? Did you have an accident? You were trying to warn him about that sheet of ice and you went out there and that 12-footer bust your ass, slipped, fell, hit your head, and you forgot everything? I feel like I'm watching an episode of Men in Black.
Well, wait a minute. So you just flash that thing, it erases her memory, and you just make up a new one?
A standard issue neuralizer.
For the last, I don't know how many seasons, I've been watching Kody try to rehabilitate his image. I've been watching him trying to convince us that, hey guys, the thing that you saw and the things you heard me say, the things you saw me do, none of those things are real, neuralizer. Okay, yeah, you're right, Kody. But this is why. This is why he thinks he can do that to us. Because apparently he's been doing it to y'all and it's been working. And I said y'all, I meant y'all. I didn't mean you or yous guys. I meant y'all. I'm going to get country on this. Like, there is no way in the world this makes sense. Do you think they try to take the property from us? I don't know. Last time when you were sitting on Kody Pass, which would have been only a couple months prior to this conversation, supposedly, he sat there and told you were only getting 2 acres of land. He told you that he was going to get 4, Robyn was going to get 4, and Janelle was going to get 4, and that left you with 2 acres. He told you that. And the other part that gets me is, did you see how Meri is looking at Janelle? And this is where people talk about like Meri's personality and the sister wives and why they don't get along and why they don't trust each other. They've gotten to a point now where Meri can't even see an ally where she once saw an enemy. She saw Janelle and Christine as enemies, and she saw Kody and Robyn as her friends. These people are looking out for me. They're my buddies. This goes back to a lesson that you teach your kids when they're in kindergarten. Just because people are nice to you, that doesn't make them your friend. That doesn't mean they're looking out for your best interest. Just because they're smiling your face doesn't mean that they actually care about you. And that's what I feel like with Meri. We had a great conversation. We had some laughs. They came by and picked up my furniture and Kody did me that favor. Let's stop right there. Kody didn't come over to do you a favor. He came over to get furniture from your house to give to his best friend. He did his best friend a favor. Now, my question is, Meri, is he going to come by and help you pack your house up? Is he going to come by and help you move your stuff to Parowan? Now, if he does that, then I'm wrong. Maybe you have something to hang your hat on. But if they don't do that, or if all of a sudden when it comes time for you to move your stuff, they're busy, then that lets you know what they're working with. They might do it just out of the fact that Janelle is hot on a case with this property. She's trying to get her cut, and she's already talking about lawyers. So Kody might try to undercut Janelle's case by using you, being nice to you. This is the same way that they were able to get you out to Arizona in the first place. Remember, Kody took you out on Cottonwood and was walking hand in hand and put his arm around you and made you feel all gushy inside. Then you went back to Las Vegas, sold your house, moved out to Arizona thinking you were going to restart your relationship in a new place and then try over. And he turned around and told you to kick rocks. He told you to beat it. Oh, I'm not interested in you no more. That's never going to happen. Remember that conversation? I mean, holy smokes. Then they go on to say this.
Do you not have my back?
I will watch out for you, but I just want to make sure, Meri, this is really your entire estate. I'm just telling you that you should be aware of what's going on.
Tell me what's going on. I don't know.
You are one piece. And
right. You and me and Kody are on one of the pieces.
And you're on none of the other pieces.
Do you see the accusation in Meri's eyes? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say about my friends? You trying to say they not looking out for me? What's going on? You tell me what's going on. Meri, you already know what's going on. You know what the score is. They got you out there, and all of a sudden on the side of Kody Pass, you had these math magicians sitting there talking about 2 + 2 is 4 and 8, 9, 7, 3. Look at the stars. Oh, look, squirrel. And then they walk, oh, Kody, don't say nothing now because you ain't in the right headspace when we get ready to rip Meri off. I mean, holy smokes. And then Janelle has to break it down. And to Janelle's credit, the person who is least likely to engage in conflict, she's trying to be honest with you. And this is where sometimes it pays to have like that blunt friend. That friend is just telling you where it is. Because Meri needs to hear no kindness, no fluff, no sugar in the stew to make the medicine go down. None of that. She needs straight medicine. Look, your name appears on only one of the parcels. The parcel that shares with Kody, Janelle, and Meri is only 4.4 acres. Now, keep it in mind, they're taking a good portion of that land because they wanted to subdivide that pond so it sits on that sewer system, so it sits on 1 acre or one plot of that land by itself. So that would be 2 acres. That may elevate it to 6 acres. That's 2 + 2 = 4 + 2 = 6. He wanted to shift your name from the 4-acre lot that you're on to a 2-acre lot, and that would give you your cut. That's why everybody is acting like they're confused. But if you do the math by that mindset, Meri would only be entitled to 2 acres. And part of the reason why I think it makes sense to Kody and Robyn, not that it's right, but the reason why it makes sense to them is based off of something that Robyn said earlier in this season. Let's take a listen.
I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well. You just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all.
Now, here's the thing. When we said that, they put that little frame in the context of Janelle, because Janelle was talking. So we said, oh, okay, this is what she had to say about Janelle. She was trying to budget her money and Janelle wasn't. No, she wasn't just talking to Janelle. She was talking to all three of you. She was talking to everybody who upset about money. Y'all mad about money? I just know how to budget. See, in my mind, you know how I think they did the budgeting? How I think they did the budgeting is kind of like this. The money that Meri and Janelle put in, they use that money towards rent, towards mortgages, towards paying for living expenses, and to get them through. Then Kody and Robyn used their share of the money that's supposed to be used towards contribution that's supposed to be used towards living expenses, etc., etc., etc. And they just focused all their money onto the acquisition of land. Now, how does this make a difference? If anybody has ever had a kid or they were a kid themselves, one of the selfish, greedy tricks that little children play, and some adults. So say you have two kids. Both kids like M&Ms. One kid doesn't like peanuts, though. That can't stand peanuts, but they love plain M&Ms. So you go out thinking to yourself, I'm going to give my kids a treat. I'm going to get them a packet of plain M&Ms and a packet of the peanut M&Ms. Now, the kid who loves the peanut M&Ms, they can clearly have that one. The kid that doesn't like the peanuts, they can have the plain. That's what you're thinking. But you know what your kid will do? The kid who eats the peanut M&Ms, they'll sit there and eat all the plain M&Ms. They'll be, they'll go 1-to-1 with the kid who's eating the plain M&Ms. Hey, let me get some of those. Oh, let me get some of those too. Let me get some of those too. And they'll sit there and eat through those plain M&Ms. And then when they're done those plain M&Ms, they got their peanut M&Ms, that whole pack left to themselves because they know their sibling isn't going to eat it. Robyn and Kody, I imagine, were probably doing the same damn thing. This is part of the math magician technique. You take your money and put it on the things that you want. You take their money and put it on the things that you need. So you put their money on the necessities. You put their money on the bills. You put their money on things that don't matter. So when you go for the holidays and Christmas parties and birthday parties, graduations, etc., you use the wives' money. Meanwhile, you're saving and conserving your money. This is how I think they were able to get such a nest egg, because they were using the other wives' money and putting their money aside. So the final thing that really got me on this clip, now keep in mind, this is a preview clip. I might be completely wrong. I hope I'm wrong. If they put it in the context and maybe the conversation went a little different, or there's something that Meri said to kind of, pull herself up by the bootstraps so she doesn't look as crazy. But this is the final thing that really distinguishes Janelle, somebody who's trying to be fair. Now, she might not be your friend, but she's trying to do what's right. And to me, that's more important than somebody who's sitting there pretending to be my friend, but is only looking out for themselves. Here's what Janelle had to say.
She technically is entitled to a quarter of the value of the property. Her name is only on one piece, and it's in conjunction with Kody and I. So if worse comes to worse and it's sold, she probably won't get a quarter. I would just make sure that what you're getting is fair.
Now, this is where it all meets the road, because I've done video on top of video talking about the importance of paperwork. Meri is sitting there pretending as though it matters. Like the democratic process that the Brown family has. Oh, well, there's 4 of us, and if the 2 of us come together and I have these 2 people on my side and they're my friends and they're going to vote with me and they're going to do what's right because it's only fair. Like, that's a childish way to look at this situation. You guys are adults, and I would encourage you that, especially as you engage in adult activities like purchasing land and acquiring things, that you view it as adults and you view it as you are. You guys are separate individuals. By the time they purchased that property on Coyote Pass, Meri was no longer married to Kody. So all the protections that she had for the previous 30 years did not exist. She didn't have those protections. She didn't have somebody looking out for her. She couldn't sit there and pretend as though, okay, I don't have to worry about it because my stake in this relationship is already established. I'm already going to walk away with something. Nay, if the documents, the mortgage and the title of the land, the plot of land says that you only are entitled to 2 acres, guess what? You're only entitled to 2 acres. And technically, it might be less than 2 acres. Technically, she's only entitled to 1.5 acres. So Kody is being extremely generous by going ahead and giving her that extra ½ acre by saying, I'm going to give you 2 acres. He's being generous because he doesn't even have to do that. And that's the crazy part. And she's put all kinds of money into the family. She's put all kinds of money into Robyn's house. She's put all kinds of money onto Kody Pass. They wouldn't have been able to do half the things had she not sold her house. And this is part of the reason why once again, I stand on the fact that if we are going to pretend like polygamy is a possibility or should be legally considered, we have to take steps to be able to provide for people who are in these relationships. Meri is literally going to walk away with jack nothing. And I don't mean, and I was about to use French, but I'm not going to. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you join me tonight when I talk about this episode. It's going to be off the hook, I guarantee you. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I run a call-in show. You can call in, give your take on what you saw in the episode. Let me know. And if you don't watch the show, you don't have a chance to see it, still call in, watch the live. It's going to be a good time. We have a cool community. Come check it out. This is My Take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.
'Cause I've been living